Namaste everyone and welcome to our continued study of Vishnu Sahastranam. We will continue with the verse number 92nd. And this verse reads, Dhanur dharo, Dhanur dharo, Dhanur vedo, Dhanur dharo, Dhanur vedo, Dando, Damayatam Dama. So Dhanur dhara, Dhanur vedo, Dando, Damayatam Dama. Aparajit sarvasa, Niyanta. Aniyama, ayama. That's how the last word reads. So there are 10 names of Lord Vishnu in these words. And the first one is Dhanurdhara. These name is related to Vishnu Bhagavan's avatar as a Ram in the Ram avatar. So in Ram avatar, as we all know, the Lord Rama always carried that bow and arrow. So Dhanurdhara word is made up of two words. Dhanu means a bow, and Dhara means the one who holds it, one who wields it, and that two together is Dhanurdhara. Lord Rama was a Kshatriya. He was a king. He was born in Raghuvans in a Solar dynasty. So his main duty was to conduct the affairs of the kingdom. So, and Dhanur is a symbolic of a power as well as to keep everything in discipline and in order. So the Lord carried these always, and the name of his bow was Saranga. So that's many times we see Sarangapani, means the one who has the bow in his hand. Sarang. So the Lord Krishna in Krishna Avatara refers to this name in a Rama avatar. So in Bhagavad Gita, Lord says, Pavana Pavatam Asmi. This comes in the Vibhuti Yoga. When Lord explains to Arjuna all his creation and his glories, he says, Pavana Pavatam Asmi. Of all the purifiers, I am wind. Pavana Pavatam Asmi. Rama Sastra Bhrutam Ham. There's where this name comes. Rama Sastra Bhrutam means the one who carries the weapons. Rama Sastra Bhrutam Ham. Of all those, one who are adapted at use of the weapons, I am Ram. Lord Krishna says, I am Ram. So essentially, it is a Lord Vishnu coming as different gods in the avatars to perform a certain task to guide the humanity. So this is where the name Dhanurdhara comes. So next name is Dhanur Veda. One who is carrying Dhanu, not only he carries, but he is expert in the archery. Dhanur Veda means the Veda means knowledge. The knowledge, body of knowledge pertaining to weaponry or archery. That is Dhanur Veda. As we know, there are 4 Vedas: the Ruk, Sam, Yajur, and Atharva Veda. And each Veda has their Upavedas. So Upveda of Yajur Veda is called Dhanur Veda. That's where the science and art of archery is stated, and this is credited to sage Vishwamitra, who was the guru of Bhagwan Ram. So that's where the Lord's name comes as Dhanur Veda. These also is used as a metaphor in in Mundaka Upanishad. In Mundaka Upanishad, word Om or Pranava is a metaphor, used as a metaphor of a dhanush or bow. So very profound sloka, and there in that Upanishad it says Pranavo Dhanu. Pranavo means word Om, mono symbol for God. Pranavo Dhanu. That word is Dhanusha. What does the bow does? It helps you to shoot an arrow. Pranavo Dhanu Sarohi Atma. Sarohi means arrow. Arrow is our soul. So bow is a word Om. The arrow is the individual soul or Jivatman. Pranavo Dhanu Sarohi Atma. Brahma Tad Laksham Uchate. And that Brahman is his target. Brahma Tad Laksham Uchate. And then it says, apranaten, means without getting distracted. Apranaten vedavyo, means shoot it. Apranaten vedavyo, sarvat tanmaya bhavet, and become one with the target. Got it? So this is a very profound words where bow is used as a metaphor of Dhanush. So word Om is symbolic of Lord. If we don't want to do anything, any name, Om. So there is a Om, that is a Om meditation also, whole branch that the one who the continuous meditating, chanting the Lord's name is Om, ultimately gets and soon gets to the realization. So that's where these Dhanurdhara, word Dhanurdhara comes. So as a Dhanurdhara and a Dhanur Veda. So he's the knower of the archery. He was is a great strategist. He is for the warfare. But Bhagavan Rama never misused his power. He had a tremendous control. So he, at any time, if he used his weapons or his power, it was for the good of the universe to eliminate the evil in the society for no other reason. So that's why he's called Maryada Purush. He has a tremendous control on all his power, all his assets, the way he conducted life, and that's why after so many years we remember him as an ideal human being, no? When he came as an avatar. So Dhanurdhara and a Dhanur Veda, that's where this name comes from. The next three names, Dandu, Damayatam, Dama. Danda, Damayatam, Dama. They are all related. So Danda, we all know there are two meanings. One is Dand means fine. If somebody does something wrong, they are punished. They are given punishment in the form of monetary fine or imprisonment or solitary imprisonment or whatever different kinds of punishment. So that is one meaning of dand. Another meaning of dand is a stick, a staff, and these decorated stick or decorated staff, which is called scepter, which king and queens carry as a symbol of their sovereignty, their power, and symbol of justice and equality. So we find these whenever there's a celebration, kingly celebration, or Pope carrying that's decorated staff. that is scepter is called danda. That represents that they have the authority. They will use the authority in a right way, will give a just punishment only to reform the wrongdoer, and it will be built on justice and and evenness, no partiality. This is symbolic. So that's why one of his name, that is of Lord Vishnu, is Danda. That is what it indicates. So, and that also comes in Bhagavad Gita. No? So all these names come in the Gita. And Lord says, Dando Damayatam Asmi. So I am the scepter carried by Damayatam, the one who controls, means kingly, or one who is in charge and controls everything. So, so that's where the word danda comes. Scepter, the symbol of power which is used in a just way to give a proper justice. And even the one who is suffering this punishment, he also agrees and he feels that he was justly treated. So that many things it represents. So we have seen these bumper sticker many times. No justice, no peace. So no justice, no peace. You cannot have peace if there is no justice. Then it says no justice, KNOW, no justice, no peace. If you understand justice, you have seen also another sticker where it says no Jesus, no peace. If there is no God, there is no peace. KNOW, no Jesus, no peace. Means without divine presence in your personal life or in a society, there cannot be peace. Period. You have more money, you will fight fight with in a better way. If you have less money, you will fight in a primitive way, but you will fight. So divinity is absolutely essential at personal level, as well as the level of as a societal level. So and these both, the king, it is the job of a leader. So in the old times there were kings and queens. So that's why kings and queens carried this scepter. So that is the meaning of that. And the Lord is very, very just. He is almighty. He can do anything, but he tolerates all our mischiefs, our wrongdoing, to an extent that and after that only he gives punishment. So God has a tremendous tolerance for our misbehavior. So the next word is Damayatam, the one who controls. Dando Damayatam Asmi. Means I am the scepter, I am the one who keeps everything in order. Think a little bit. He keeps everything in order in the Prakriti or in the universe. Everything outside is to the dot and working with extreme precision. Sun rises, sun sets, the seasons change, the flowers come, fruits come, oxygen level is maintained, everything is precisely done. We take it for granted, but that is his external management of the universe. He manages internal management, all of us, and he does that by infusing the consciousness in us as a soul. He says that as a soul I reside within you. 10 places he tells in Bhagavad Gita that I live in you and I guide you also. I monitor you also. Only thing you don't listen or you don't obey. So he says in one place in Bhagavad Gita, Updrastanumantacha Bharta Bhokta Maheshwara Paramatme Chapi Uktam Dehe Asmin Purusha Para. Very profound words, no? For a thinking people, this is very important. Updrasta means I am the observer. Updrasta. Anumanta means I am a permitter. I am sitting there. I am observing them. I am a permitter. Updrasta Anumanta cha. Bharta Bhokta Maheshwara. I maintain you. I wake you up in the morning. I digest food for you. I give you energy to you. I maintain you. So Bharta Bhokta Maheshwara. Paramatme chapi uktam. That is called Paramatma. Paramatme chapi uktam. Dehe asmin purusha para. I live in every body. Every body, not only human body. In a rabbit, in a monkey, in a horse, in a donkey, everywhere. He says that. By staying there, I am watching you. I'm permitting you. Always you get a call which says, my conscience doesn't agree. Even a thief who is going for burglary, he knows that he is doing wrong. But he does not listen to inner voice and say, no, no, no. He justifies with his little intellect that no, I have no other solution but to do this. So you always, before any wrongdoing, everybody gets this inner voice that no, should I do it? Should I do it? I shouldn't do it. And still we overpower that. God says, I'm a permitter. I said no, but you did it. So it is your headache now. And when you do too much of nonsense, God punishes you accordingly. He doesn't come and punish. He has a built-in system. His built-in system is called Rit, or a law of Lord. It is a universal law. So it is universal law. So that is a it's a universal law. So that we all know whether we are educated or uneducated. We all know. So that is why it is called Rit or universal law. So 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 that is, and if you violate the law, then you suffer. So that is a universal law. If you violate, there is a built-in punishment. If you follow that law, universal law, what is the universal law? That is ahimsa, satyam, asteya. That is a yama. That 5 things, even an illiterate farmer in a village knows that. So ahimsa, satyam, asteya, brahmacharya, aparigraha. These 5 things are called universal law. So and that is called Rita. That is described in our Yajurveda many times. So there is a built-in reward that the one who follows the scripture or whatever is stated in the scripture, these things are stated in the scripture, gets a reward of a full life. Full life is considered 100 years with all the faculties intact and satiety and happiness, built-in reward. And the violation of this law is called arita. And the violation, the punishment is also built in. Punishment is distress, disease, and death. It is built in. God does not intervene. Even if it is his own brother or father, he doesn't come or doesn't change. So this is called law of Lord or karma siddhant or a godly law or universal law. So that is, by doing that, he is controlling this universe. That's why every time he comes, his main function is to establish dharma, means all these things we are talking about. Establish dharma and delete adharma. Why? So that the spirituality will flourish on the planet Earth. That is his desire and his goal is to let the spirituality flourish and on the planet Earth. Not that he wants another 100 McDonald's or Starbucks. No, that is not his. That is not the wealth for the God or goal of God. The goal of the establishing dharma or making people aware about dharma, so that the spiritual knowledge and spiritual way of life flourishes on the planet Earth. And the evil, means the influence of Maya, becomes less or go away. So that is his main purpose. So that is why he is called Dando Damayatam. So I am the controller, I am the scepter. So Dando Damayatam Dama. Dama means this the power to control the self. That though he has power, it's never misused. So Dhamma means to control all our evil tendency. That is also called Dhamma. Sama Dhamma. So Sama means control of the mind. Dhamma means control of the sensory things, and the sensory distractions, which are our internal enemies. That controlling that is called Dhamma. So God has a total control on this. God is beyond the influence of Maya. The internal enemies is a product of Maya. It was not built in us. We acquired it. So that is the influence of Maya, and those six enemies, mainly the desire. So Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsar. These six, we were not born with that. So these things are acquired, and there were seeds in us that flourish, and they picked up these evils. And God is of course beyond that. That's why he's called Mayapati. He's the he's the boss of Maya. We are called Mayadhin, under the influence of Maya. From Mayadhin, we want to count whether we call these guna. These are the gunas. By putting the different qualities of our mind, as we are excited to follow that path. If I'm born with more of rajas, I'm excited to go after the worldly things, acquire, go after money, possession, power, and all those things. If I'm born with more of sattva guna, then my tendency is to go towards more spiritual side, or more kindness, more gentleness, more all the divine qualities. And if I'm born with tamasa, then my tendency is to do wrong thing, built-in wrong thing, that I'm lazy, I'm a crook, I'm a cheater, I'm a liar, all bad things. And we have an option to change this during this life. Or if you don't change it, then that guna will become predominant. So God is beyond that. That's why, because he has total control on this external power of Maya. So that is called Dhamma. So he has given all these things to us, and he has made a system of punishing and rewarding to us. So we should never blame anything on anybody. It is all our karmas which are acting now, or prior karmas which are fructifying now. There is no other reason for that. There is a very nice Subhasitani, which says, Sukhasya Dukhasya na kopi data. Nobody is there to give you happiness or sorrow. Sukhasya Dukhasya na kopi data. Paro dadami iti buddhi resha. Somebody else is giving me misery, or my mother-in-law is causing me hard time, or my son-in-law is giving me hard time, or my partner is giving, that is wrong. So sukhasya dukhasya na kopi data paro dadami iti buddhi resha. Aham karomiti kumithya vimana. I am the doer, that is your delusion, man. So this is so you are not the doer, no? So, ham karo miti mithya bhimana. So, what is happening? Swakarmana sutre grathita hi loka. Because of your own karmas, which produces desirable and undesirable effects, swakarmana sutre means formula. Swakarmana sutre grathita means is bound. He cannot come out of it. Swakarmana sutre hi grathita hi loka. If I get 100,000 tomorrow in a lottery or in a stock market out of blue, it is it is related to my some good karmas in the past. And if I lose something and has a damage, it's also some wrongdoing somewhere some in the line. No? So this is his laws. No, these are subtle. So it is very hard to know how God punishes us or how He rewards us. He can punish us with either with a bodily injury, with mental injuries, or with financial injuries. No. Anyway, means he can, and his hand is hidden. We will never know. We will say we will blame somebody or the other. So that is why he's called Damayatam Asmi. Dama. The next name is Aparajita. Aparajita. Parajita means as one who is defeated or a loser. Defeated. Aparajita means one who cannot be defeated. So Lord Almighty cannot be defeated. In all avatars, he fought with all the evil, but you will not find one instance where he was the loser. So that's why his name is Aparajita. And is all the external enemies, he was not defeated. All the internal enemies we named, it does not affect him. There are no enemies of Lord because he is absolutely just. He is not partial. He has no partiality. He is full of kindness and he is just. But still the evil exists in the world. That's why he voluntarily gets into that and removes the evil. So he's called aparajita. Parajita. So and he's always victorious. Then next name is Sarva Saha. Sarva means everything or every situation. Saha means he tolerates everyone and every situation. So without getting perturbed, disturbed, not easily, and is watching all these things. So when in Krishna Avtara, there's one of his cousins, Sisupal, named Sisupal, was a very nasty and very jealous of Lord Krishna. So he used to go after him and insult him and curse him and use all the bad words in the dictionary. They were related cousins. He tolerated it for 99 times. He says, 99 times I will tolerate. And then he kills him. So he gives enough chance for us to get reformed or change our path. But if we don't, then through his hidden hand, we get some damage or get slap on the face as a society or as an individual. And but the one who sees his hand They are the knowers. They know. If good happens, they are fine. If bad happens, he says, okay, God, this is prasad. It was due to me, so I had to suffer this. That's it. So that's why it's called sukhasya dukhasya, no kopi data. So sarva saha. So he tolerates, and that is why we say kshama virasya bhushanam. So he's all powerful, but all forgiving. So Jesus always says mercy and grace, mercy and grace. Mercy means we did a lot of wrong, I forgive you. Mercy, I forgive you again and again, so that you will get reformed. But oh, you did it. Okay, my son, I forgive you, but don't do it again. In one sentence, he says both things. Don't do it again, I forgive you. Don't do it again, I forgive you. And God gives us 99 chances, and you say, okay, and then you get the punishment. So next name is Niyanta. Niyanta means controller. He's all controller of everything. External control, internal control. That's what we talked about. And by controlling everything, the reason is so that we live comfortably in this world, enjoy all the goodies that God has left. We have to understand one thing, that the world or this Jagat which we see is created to cater to our bodily needs. Period. There is no other function. So if you see and go on a street and see the 10 different shops, they all are somehow or the other catering to our bodily needs. You will find a hair salon, next thing you will find doctor's office, then you will find then a grocery store. Everything is only for body. And the body is given to us to realize God. Because it is going to get strong and then get depleted and go. So the body is all these goodies that God has made. So that is for bodily maintenance, and He has given one instruction that only use what you need. It is not for hoarding for you. So hoarding is a greed. So that is no. It is like a billionaire's place. No, he has set up a great buffet. Eat as much as you want. You're not allowed to take a doggy bag. Eat as much as you want. But you think that, and don't put your name on it. No, if you think you are the owner of this house or owner of this land or owner of these things, that is wrong. So that is called not knowing, not thinking that I'm owner is called detachment. And using the assets God has given, showing the gratefulness. That's why Swami Vivekananda said that, don't think you can help anyone. You can only serve the children of Lord, serve the Lord Himself. If the God has given that privilege, blessed you are. Look at these great masters come just not for picnic here. No, they leave so much of material for us, written and spoken, and from time to time, one after the other, one after the other. And most of the time they are ignored, or given a special status that okay, they can do it. I have nothing to do with it. So that is wrong. So that is niyanta. So he's the control. The next name is these last two names. That is niyama. Means God is beyond these niyama. All these rules, God, it does not apply to God. So he's aniyama. So that is, and yama means death or Lord of death. Ayama, so God has no death. He's deathless. He's Almighty Lord, birthless, deathless, taintless. And we are part of God. So we are also birthless, deathless, taintless as an Atman. Only the body dies, no? And we made so much of a tadatmya, means oneness with the body. So we think that I'm getting old and I'm getting ugly and I'm going to die and I'm getting this. But you're not going to get any of this. Your body will have. So when you dissociate these two things, instantaneously you are godly. That's what sage Ashtavakra also says in his Bhagavad Gita, the moment you can separate your body and come out of the body and see your body with your consciousness as aduneva, means right away you will have peace and bliss. Because these two are separate. And we made a, that's why we are living in delusion. So that is the first delusion is birth and death. Second delusion is happiness and sorrow. Third delusion is success and failure. There is nothing like this. None of this. All delusions are wrong. All these pairs of opposite, they are called dvandas. That's why God says, Dvandai vimukta sukha dukkha sangai. When you come out of these pairs of opposite, you are done. And we are born with these pairs of opposite. That also God tells in 7th chapter, Ichha dvesa samuthena dvanda mohena bharata sarvabhutani sammoham sargeyanti parantapa. Instruction number. So Arjuna, born out of desire and aversion, Ichha dvesa samuthena. Dvand, all these pairs are made, born out of desire and aversion. Desire, I want this and I don't want this. So, ichha dvesa samuthena dvanda mohena bharata. Mohena means delusion. Dvanda mohena bharata. Sarva bhutani sammoham. They're all the beings in delusion. Sarva bhutani sammoham. Sargeyanti parantu. They are born and they rotate in this. Till they get out of this delusion, so they are subject to this painful existence. So our job is to think, know, and try to understand and implement. So that is I am and yam. That comes in a Astanga Yoga. Patanjali Yoga Sutra, Astanga Yoga, one of the path to Almighty or to union with God. Bhakti Yoga, Karma Yoga, Raj Yoga, so that is Gnan Yoga, Astang Yoga. Astang Yoga has eight steps. There is Yam, Niyama, Asan. Yam, Niyam, Asan, Pranayam, Pratyahar, Dharana, Dhyan, Samadhi. Sometimes we want to go and say, okay, I want to meditate. You can't do it unless you have ascended these 7 steps before, 6 steps before. So these all the steps are equally important and they have to go in a proper sequence. Yam, Niyam, Asan, Pranayam, Pratyahar, Dharana, Dhyan, Samadhi. So Yam part has 5 rules, that is Ahimsa, Satyam, Asteya. Ahimsa, Satyam, Asteya, Brahmacharya, Aparigraha. These 5 things comes under the Yama. And under Niyama comes Santi, so that is Santi, Socham, Swadhyaya. Swadhyaya means study of the scripture. Socham means purity. Shanti, so tapa, the austerity. So that is tapa. So Shanti, Swadhyaya means a self-study. So there's Santosh. That is a Santosh. That is another thing you need. Santosh. So that is those 5 things are and Ishwar Pranidhan. Ishwar Pranidhana means surrendering to God. So satiety means Santosh. Purity means Socham. Swadhyaya means study of the scriptures. Ishwar Pranidhana means surrendering to the God or Saranagati. These 5 comes under Niyama. So 5 essentially don't, and 5 do's. That makes 10. And this is like 10 commandments of Christianity, 10 commandments of Judaism, 10 commandments of Buddhism, and 10 commandments of Krishna. So they all are essentially same. If we have time and you study, it's essentially it is interchangeable. Language is different, times were different, public was different, but material is the same. So that is Yam Niyama. So that is that is the last name. And if you have any question, you can ask. This involves a lot of useful material. If you have any question, you can ask, and then we can discuss for a few minutes. And
I just have one clarity as you mentioned about the pairs of opposite. That it is born out of our desire or aversion in life, and you also mentioned so this pair of opposite also leads us to understand the Advaita Vedanta,
means
because that is Advaita versus Advaita, right?
Advais means there is only God.
One,
That's it.
one.
Everything is Brahman.
Okay.
What I see is Brahman. What I am is Brahman. Everything is Brahman. There are no duality. Duality means I am different and Brahman is that one.
Mm,
So that is so the truth is that whatever we see, the manifest form of God, that is Sakar Brahman.
mm,
He presents himself as world. He presents himself as world, and and we are subject. So there we are as a soul which powers the mind, and we understand. So we are subject. This is the universe. So both are Brahman. So I'm a part of Brahman. What I see is Brahman. A little dog is Brahman. A pious cow is Brahman. A pig is Brahman. Everything is Brahman. When you see oneness everywhere, and that is the truth, whether our intellect does not let it grasp because we have contaminated it, or it gets contaminated because of if it's not done and it does not have influence of scripture or guru or right material, then it is likely to come under the influence of Maya or material energy. And that material energy contaminates it. And more it contaminates, more unlikely you are going to grasp Brahman, because your mind is clouded with that worldly consciousness.
So, one of the things that I heard you say is, I am the doer is a misunderstanding, and that is true. But from a practical perspective, it just feels hard for anyone to agree to or bring into day-to-day life, because we are constantly doing so many things all the time, and it's hard not to get caught up in this. I am doing this. It is me who is doing this. um, so I mean, I think that was a statement I wanted to make, but also one thought that comes up now is that um, it's about practicing this meditation kind of thing in your waking life, where everything that you do, you kind of remind yourself, this is not, it is not me who's doing this. This is God, or this is.
Yes. So we are doing it, but we are doing as an instrument of God. So God, I am your instrument. Of course, we are doing it. I am eating. I am seeing the patient. I am operating. So that nobody denies it. But that agency, that taking credit of that action, that we have to give it up. When you give it up, I am working as an instrument of God. This is all, whatever I am is your energy. You have assigned me this work, so I'm doing it. I'm going to do it the best way. And I offer to you. So that agency is God, and irrespective of whatever is the outcome, I'm fine. So I am not the doer. That is one understanding. This is all understanding. And I am not looking for the outcome of it. Outcome of it is dedicated to God. I want to do the work in the best possible way as your instrument for the work that you have assigned. So that's what God says. Niyatam kuru karma tvam कर्म ज्यायो कर्मण शरीरात्रा पिचते न प्रसिद्धेय कर्मण. Whatever is assigned to you, do it, because not doing is not an option. Doing it with arrogance and agency is not a good option, because then you will be the sufferer of the outcome of the action. If you are not, if you do not have agency, that becomes selfless work. I am doing it because I am assigned. I'm not concerned with the outcome of that, and I'm offering it to to Lord Almighty. That means you are doing selfless action. Selfless action is called yoga, or is called yagna, and selfless action does not mind you, or does not damage you, and you're unconcerned, that you are working only as an instrument of God. I give you one example. That's how the scripture explains that there was a kingdom there. No, there was a king, and there a neighboring king. There was the other king, and he wanted to send a message to him. So he tells his attendant that go and give this letter to the another king in about 10 miles away in those days. So the obedient servant goes on a horse and he goes, but unfortunately he doesn't find that king there. And he had instruction that only give it to him in his hand. So he comes back and it reports to the master that I did not find him. Sorry, sir, this is it. So the master says, okay, fine. So next time, 2 days later, he says, okay, take this letter again, try. This time he finds the another king and gives the letter. And he comes back and says, I handed over the letter to the king. So in the first instance, he did not find the king and he was unsuccessful, but he had nothing to do with it. And second time he found the king and he gave the letter. He did not get excited. Oh, I found him. He only worked as an instrument. Got it? This is how we have to do it.
Mm.
These I remember these are all in the commentaries. The great Swami is right. The scriptures says that the way the attendant worked for the king, that same way you work. So he had no agency. He had nothing to do whether king was there or not. His job was to just follow the master's advice and do the task.
So it seems that we have to be humble, or we should be, if we should have humility in every action that we take. Uh, we Yeah, we have to remember that.
Remember these examples. If you remember these examples, it's okay every time. Yes, okay. I did the surgery. It went on very well. I said, thank God. You don't become arrogant. See, I've done thousands of surgeries and good result, and you're boasting. You're arrogant. That means you're taking it on your head. I said, no, that's okay. God has given me talent, and I do it, and that's it. So
Is there any practical advice for people to practice this?
this is all practical. This is all practical. There is nothing impractical about it. Is awareness, with what awareness, and see what you are thinking or what is your frame of mind, that is different. But from outside, you will look the same to the world, no? So it is practical. It's not. But you do not get a jolt of the good outcome or bad outcome.
You know what I'm struggling with is, I mean, maybe I'm not struggling with it now, but the struggle that one could face is that to remember this, right? It's like it's hard. Like the day we are packed with so much input and so many people and so many things, It's very easy to forget depending on what's going on. So I guess what I'm trying to get to is like we have to have an intention that we like the dharana, like I don't think
Yeah,
it's the same dharana, like, but it's like an intention that we have to make to ourselves
yeah.
repeatedly in the morning, in the afternoon, in the
That,
evening,
that,
at night.
that is called swadhyay, self-study of the scriptures. Swadhyay, remembering. That's why you keep this book in your pocket, Bhagavad Gita, all the time. And read all the slokas. Then they come, then they become your guide, and then you rejoice it. Yes, God, that's true. You will know from yourself. So you are right that you have to do it. It's not a Sunday worship only.
Mm.
There's no way.
I
So
think I'm just, look, I understand, Manjari, what you're saying, but what I see is when I'm going to start a surgery, whether it's a minor or a robot or a major surgery, somehow when I'm scrubbing myself, I'm saying, God, guide me. It's always behind me. I always see Shiva sitting behind. I do not know why. So when you're thinking of positivity of God all the time, and when you are not arrogant, oh, I did this, then I think it automatically comes. I don't know. I mean, I understand what you're saying. I've been through those stages, but now I feel very different. I don't feel that it's me who's doing it. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it comes with age. I'm an old lady. It comes with age and time. But I think if you are not arrogant, even if you achieve something great, oh, thank God, I'm glad I did it. So that you don't have that arrogance in you. And that is what makes you realize God is helping us do it.
Yeah.
That's the way I look at it.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody else.
Yeah, Dr. Prem, just listening
yes,
to this, uh, you know, it's when we do something right or we do something wrong, uh, we say, "Oh well, मैंने किया नहीं, God ने किया." But I think it is your responsibility. You did it, not the God. But now we are hearing that God does everything you because He's inside you. But it is your own responsibility, isn't it? If you do something wrong, that's you, not the God.
yes. So that's why God gave you the consciousness, mind.
Correct.
Yes.
Right. So you do
Uh,
bad thing, you cannot blame, oh well, God asked me to do this thing
No, no,
because
no, no. God didn't wake me up, so I'm late for 3 hours. No.
right,
God says, I've given you brain, use it. If you don't use it, it's your problem, not
right.
mine.
Yes, yes.
Vikramji has something else, but maybe you can help us, Vikramji.
He has given you this consciousness all the time, so use it.
Mm, Thank
And I think I can just add on that your conscience tells you when you do something wrong and you can ignore it to a certain extent. Then it's your ego is the one takes over. Otherwise, I think no matter what, you are intelligent enough to understand what you did wrong. And did you hurt somebody or not, or it was right or wrong? That's the way I think I see it. That anytime you do something wrong or right, right you do, just leave it to God, His reward, whatever is. But if you do something wrong, conscience tells you.
Yes. And we get punished only for something done intentionally wrong. If it
Yes,
is
yes,
accidentally done wrong,
yes,
we are not,
yes,
if you
yes,
had an accident and you were very careful and still it happened, so you're not liable for that mistake or that damage. But if you intentionally did something, intentionally falsified a paper, or intentionally cheat somebody, or intentionally cause trauma, all that is your doing. No, it's a meditated thing. Even in a court also, there what was the intention? That's they always say.
yes.
you.
So soldier at the front fights and kills people. He doesn't get punished. His intention was not to kill. He was following the order for the protection of the nation or whatever.
That's his duty to do it. That's what he's doing.
Right?
And all
Thank
these
you very
things are
much.
written in the scripture very clearly, very
Yes,
nicely. That's only thing that we have to do it and meditate on this. As And God describes everything. There is no question unanswered that is not answered.
When we do something intentionally wrong, then only it becomes a part of our bad karma.
Yes,
Am I right?
Yes.
yes. Otherwise not. No, I mean,
Otherwise not. Yeah.
and
All right. Any other question for Dr. Chokshi before we close the session?
only thing I can suggest that everything is written in Gita. Just read it, read it, read it. No, and I thank God I got on this path, and then I don't have to be confused at all. All the answer comes immediately in the form of a shloka God gives. He says that follow the scripture. Don't do on your own. There's a beautiful sloka. Yasastra vidim utsrujya vartate kamakarata na sasantim vapnoti na sukham na parangati. The one who does not follow the scriptures and does whatever is stated in the scripture, contrary to that, yasastra vidim utsrujya means against it. Utsrujya kartate vartate kamakarata. Out of his sweet desire, na sasantim vapnoti, he cannot have peace. न सशांति वापनोति न सुखम न parangati. He cannot have this, period. He can have 5 million in the bank, but he cannot, if he is a wrongdoer, he cannot have peace of mind. And no peace, so no happiness. So what God says, immediately says, Tasmat Sastra Pramanam Te. 17th chapter, Tasmat Sastra Pramanam Te Karya Karya Vyavastita Gnatva Sastra Vidanoktam Karma Kartum Arhasi. So therefore, you know the scripture and use the scripture to decide whether it is right or wrong and continue your duty in the world. 16th, this is in 16th chapter, last two slokas. See the immediately whatever, if you do it on your own with a contaminated consciousness driven by your sensuality and mind, then you will not, you will have money, you will have two Mercedes, whatever you want, but you will not have peace of mind and happiness. So therefore, use the scripture to decide what to do, what not to do. See the answer clear? There is no confusion at all. If we don't have no scripture, if we are not interested, if we don't follow, God bless us, no? And then we are on our own. Then God says, okay, 90% will not. He says that also. 90% will not follow. And only rare one will follow if you are fortunate to come across these things in life. And with your prior tendencies, you get interested in it and you go in the depth. That also tells God. God tells in Bhagavad Gita, Manushyanam sahastresu kaschidhyatati siddhe yatatam api siddhanam kaschinma veti tattvata. He tells Arjuna, out of 1,000, one will follow my path, Arjuna. And out of that 1,000, one follows, one will know me in entirety. Means 1 in million chance. 1 in 1,000, we are all 1 in 1,000, 100%. That's why we are sitting here and doing it relentlessly, no? But if you continue to meditate and understand more and more, you become 1 in million. And 1 in million, you are a spiritual millionaire. That's it. That is what the science is, Everything, Bhagavan Vakya, these are called Bhagavan Vachan. Shankaracharya ji refers to Gita as Bhagavan Vachan. He doesn't say sloka number these. That's what it is.
I,
All right.
I think
No
the
more.
bank of spirituality, there should be a spiritual coin instead of Bitcoin. That's how you achieve that more for tranquility, peace, and bliss.
Yes. Otherwise, you will have a couple of bank statements stating that you own $6 million and then you die. Bye bye.
That's true. Karma bandhanam.
Nothing better will happen. No?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining. And so I guess we'll close our session by reciting our shloka. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat पूर्णमुदच्छते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शांति शांति शांति
Om.
Thank you.
Thank you
you,
everyone for
everyone.
joining.
Thank you.